What's up, YouTube? So I played a lot of games today. I got back to 1960. I think it's not going to show here, but I got back to 1960. Maybe I just show this real quick. And I wanted to show some of the games along the way of doing this. I did this on stream, and here, I don't know if I'm looking at the camera. And here are 2 wins that I got. I really thought they were very informative. Maybe not informative, very interesting games. I had an 89.9% accuracy here, and on this one, 94.8. So before we get into that, make sure you drop a subscribe, a like, help support the channel, please. If you enjoy, if you don't, don't gotta do all that. But let's get to the game. So I'm gonna start a review on this one. Maybe we'll begin with e4. I go e6, playing the French, and they go d4. Personally, this is my favorite opening, playing the advanced French. So I was very excited when I saw that I was able to play this. I go c5 next. They go pawn to c3, knight to c6, knight to f3, queen to b6, pawn to a3, pawn to a5, bishop d3, bishop e7. As I said, I know the French. The advanced French, I know it very well. I know the book moves. I want to look up one day what this grandmaster's name is, because I keep referring to him when I talk about the French, but he introduced me, or I don't know him, but his video introduced me to this variation, the queen b6 variation. And then after bishop to c2, I actually make the first mistake with cx d4. So this is wrong. Do not know the book move after this. What is the best move? I'm very curious. It is just go knight to, oh, I do know this. I remember, because it's a line where they can actually take, you can take castles, bishop here, or no, not queen xb2. Like, imagine queen, that's safe. That part is safe. Let's say they were, instead of castles, it was like queen here. And then I could just go bishop g7. They can castle. I can castle. And I mentioned this in another video. Oh, maybe not here. You can't castle. Or, oh, it's winning a pawn. Besides the pawn, if the pawns weren't there, that part works. So yeah, I have learned that before, but I forgot. So they do 64. I might as well put through to start the game. So maybe this is why I'm not 100%. I have 89.9. But I go knight g to e7. They go bishop to c3. A great move. They go knight here to g6. I'm -2. Did not know I was ever losing this game. It didn't feel like it, honestly. Maybe because I didn't take advantage of it. But they kingside castle, and I should have went h4. Rolling down this side of the board. What I would have done here, probably h5. I know it says it's the best move, but this is kind of a no-brainer. Honestly, you have to, because if they roll down, you just want to lose. Now, however bad it would look, well, my computer is getting overworked. I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but let me turn this down a bit. Hopefully, it will lock in. But they castle. I go bishop to e7, rook here to e1, and then I castle kingside over here. I do this, get my king safe. I'm finished development. Maybe I want to push a4 eventually. I'm looking at this square, because I believe they go 92. Yeah, and they're looking at this the whole time. Oh, I can show arrows now. Because when I'm playing on stream, make sure you check out my streams. I try to stream every day, usually sometimes twice a day. But the problem here is I can't actually do this while I'm streaming, so some of it I'm just talking. But this I can take my time and explain it. They're looking to go to this square. They have this bishop here. They can also go here, and usually someone wants to look there, but they can't because my pawn here on e6. But knight to f5, there's a grandmaster who says that, I can't remember his name, that this is like worth the pawn. If this pawn was here on e5 instead of e6, so obviously they can't go there now. But I go rook here to rook a to c8. I had the right square, but the wrong rook. This rook should have been the one to go here. I knew this made sense to get on this open file. I guess semi-open. I guess it's open file, because open file, I believe, is when there's no pawn. It's semi-open is when one side has a pawn. But I would say this is more of a cluttered open file, so you want to get on it with your rook, because they don't have a rook that can get there. Is their development is not complete. They go queen here to d3, which I sort of expected them to do. I don't know if it's it's not the best move. It does make sense that they're trying to, attack from this diagonal. The problem is, I think it's not forced. And as you'll see here, I actually don't do anything kind of about it. I go knight a7. They go pawn to a4, which I expected as well. It's an inaccuracy, but I go queen here. I'm attacking the bishop here. Oh, I should have went here. Well, that makes way more sense. If I would have, I'll just show with the arrow. Knight. What am I doing? No. Pause. Did not mean to show that. But if I would have done this and then this, that's much better now that the pawn. I actually think that's what I said I was going to do, and I don't do it. I'll offer the queen trade, so that's why I didn't. I offer queen trade. I take this pawn, knight back, and here I go queen down. Now queen over is better. I don't know why I didn't do this. This was just moving way too quick. This makes way. I don't even have like an explanation as to, oh, I did this because XYZ. This is a way better move. It protects that pawn, and I just miss it in this scenario. I dropped back though, still trying to protect it. They go knight here, which is a great move, which is kind of funny because oh no, the next move is their mistake. I go this, and then they make a mistake, knight x a4, and I'm back to winning. h4 is actually the best move according to the engine. I went over this a bit already. They should have went there, but they don't, luckily. So I take the knight, and I'm going up to the end game. All right, this is still middle game, but I'm up a pawn. This is like the worst pawn possible to be up, like double A. I don't know if it gets worse than this, double A pawns. Like double H pawns is bad too, but this is just a horrible way to be up. I will say though, after bishop here and knight in, my position is not horrible. The issue is they are aiming to this side of the board, but they're always a move too slow if you look at it. So, and I think it actually made an example in the game. So they go queen d3, and they're looking to go here pawn to h5, but I can take the knight. Oh, this is a mistake. But this is still like equal, so it's not like a huge mistake. So they have to react to that. And now I offer a queen trade. So they're kicked off the diagonal. Now if they had another move and they can push it, then it's checkmate, but they're always one move too slow, it looks like. They take the queen, I take with the rook, and now it's just looking like a very nice endgame. They do bishop captures, knight captures d4, and now there's just too much pressure going on. I have this square here on c3, I have this square here on, no, c2, square here on b3, and they actually don't respond right at all. They go king forward. Oh, yeah. And then I have this too. I didn't even notice this during the game, honestly. I see it now. I was very confused why they went there, because obviously after, I'm not looking at what I could have done before, I'm looking at what I could do now. But I did not see that this was a fork. Yeah, this is very, yeah. They're just losing at this point. They go king forward, they go knight here to b3, attacking this knight here, attacking this rook, and they actually play the wrong move. This is still losing, but bishop a2 is better, and I thought they'd play bishop a2, honestly. I think because of bishop a2, I'd still do knight x a5, here, rook x, knight x b2, and then h5. I think it's because they have they're one move quicker. But as you'll see in the game, because they go bishop here, when I take, they're one move slower, I think. But they just dropped the rook here, and that's game over, and that's how I get that one. So that's why I'm showing 2 games. And let me know if you want to see multiple games in the video or just one. So I have this next game. This one was shorter. No, the last one I just did shorter. This one's a little bit longer. But I'm playing white this time, and I got the win. 19. This is the win. Is this the last one I got? No, I got one win after this, but this one I think I got with a 95% accuracy. Yeah, 95%. So I go d4, they go d5. I go bishop f4, knight here to c6, e3, e6, bishop d3, and bishop here to d6. Now I play the London so much at this point that I do know different lines. I go here to bishop to g3, knight f3 is better, and I do have reviewed this before. This is better. I, however, am not someone who can play this. So there is something I talk about when I'm not a master, so take my advice with a grain of salt. But I have played a lot of chess, and I have learned that playing the best move is not always the best thing to do if you don't know the continuation. Now, if you know the top engine move, the top lines for different positions, like if you know this, play this. I don't know it. I know that for me, having these, giving myself a weakness, double pawns, I have to know how to control it. That's not a strength of mine, so I didn't go for it. So even though I've reviewed it so much, I know I've never done it. Maybe I should learn it, and maybe that's why it's holding me back from hitting that next step. But for the time being, I'm going to do what I know. I did have 95% accuracy, so I did have a pretty good game all in all. But they go c5 when I should have taken after I go c3, but I should have taken after they went c5. I didn't consider it, honestly. I wanted them to take to be complete. I wanted them to do it and let my e pawn get there, but they did not do that. They go queen here to c7 as they wanted to avoid as well, and they had a good game too. They are like 88% accuracy. I saw. I can double check. Oh, 87, yeah. So they play good too. But they take the knight. I take with the pawn. Knight b to d7. Pawn to a4. One of my favorite moves. It stops any b5. And honestly, this is just me remembering that's the right triangle. It is me remembering a game I lost in the U.S. Open in 2023 where I let them get b5 in, and it was just so dumb. I was 1400 then over the board. I'm 1800 now, so I'm definitely better. And it's little things like that I think add up to being a better player now. I want to avoid that at all costs. I never want to lose like that again. Then go e5. I'm sure I'm taking. They take, I take. And here I remember this game now. And I thought I was losing. I just played it, but I played a lot, but I remember what happens now. I go bishop e2 and knight here to g4. So I actually thought I just blundered. I end up not blundering. This is not the reason. that there's no attack, which I thought there was, but they can't kick the knight, which is kind of the issue. And also, because I have this pawn here on e3, my king can sit here, which it will sit here eventually. Obviously, it is going to be a while, but it's sort of never really an issue, and because my king can go over and the bishop will go away. But I go c4, which is the second best move. I didn't consider b4. I thought about c4 because I was, on the one hand, I'm doing this. Like, I'm X-raying this bishop here. If they decide to take, say they took, I just have this. So that was like the first reason why. Maybe I can catch them slipping, but I was not relying on that, to be honest with you. I wanted to just remove this pawn and then maybe get my queen up on this file to do something. They go bishop c6, a mistake. I take, which is a miss. It says, I believe, that knight h5, h4 is the best move. Or I'm not in review anymore. Yeah, knight h4 was better. I didn't see it. That's honest. This is like not a miss. I was deciding, like, earlier in the game when I talked about the bishop, on f4 here, like that bishop here, that was, I know that. I didn't know this was a miss. I just did not see knight to h4. I go rook here to e2. I should have went e4 as well. The funny thing is, I did consider going to e4. The reason I didn't was because I was like, well, I can just get my king here. And if I get that, it doesn't matter that it looks bad. I don't think taking the knight being a good move kind of threw me off. When I was reviewing this the first time, I would have assumed it was not a good move because it gives me the square to run to. But it is the second best move. I take to give a queen check, and obviously they're going to try. But after king here to e2, it's dead even, and there's nothing to do. I will say here, we want to be mindful of the time. They're up now, but this is one of the big factors in the game. They take, I take, and queen back, rook over, and queen over. And just like that, they're down 25 seconds, and just a couple moves, and which is a very big thing in the blitz game. 25 seconds is roughly, what is that, 10%? It's almost 10% because 30 seconds is 10% of the time. And it was on 3 moves that ultimately were pretty no-brainer. They had to get away. And I'm victim myself of spending time when I don't need to. But they did not need to think super long on these. Like, once they did that, like, they had to go queen back. I don't know, like, they were deciding, and they had to go queen over. So those were 2 moves that could have been a little bit quicker. But myself, if you see my streams or some of my videos, I lose on time all the time. So I do understand it. But they go h6, I go rook here, trying to get this open file. Oh, something that I didn't mention. This is threatening checkmate. I didn't do this to threaten checkmate, though. This was kind of like, I saw it, but I obviously knew they were going to block it. The point of queen c2, in my mind, is to get the queen off the first rank, to get my rook here to this square, to put some pressure here. Because I also have a5 at any point, because I already went a4, and then try and break. So there is a lot of thoughts there outside of the checkmate. The checkmate was just kind of a cherry on top that they had to react to it. But they go rook here to d8, getting this file as well, contesting it. Offer a queen trade. And I was talking about it on stream. In this point in the game, I did not want to win at all, which is a weird thought to say out loud. I was so, I don't want to say so shook. I was reeling from the attack on the king side. I just wanted to go to an endgame, which is why I offered the trade. So the fact that this is the second best move is more luck than anything. Like, I thought it made sense to, like, get them out from attacking, but they don't go for it, which ends up hurting them. But you can't make decisions based off the outcome. It made sense not to trade. They were attacking and pushing the whole game, and they might get me the crack. I double up on the c file to attack, and then I'm looking at bringing here, something that I had to accept. I wanted to rook lift, maybe. I was considering that. And I wanted to keep the pressure on the semi-open file, but I just didn't see anything. So my plan is to get double up on these D and C file, or on the D and C file with my rooks staring down the board. It was a hard decision because I love that I had maybe an attack, but I didn't see anything. If you don't see an attack, there's no point in doing it. I go queen here to C4, queen over, pawn to B4, take this pawn, take, and now I finally trade rooks, looking for an attack. Now the important thing here, again, is the time. I'm up, what is that, 43 seconds, give or take, yes, 43. They go rook over, I go pawn up, but yeah, the time. That's an important thing in blitz, is I'm almost up 50 seconds at this point. I can move a little, if I move quick, they're going to move quick. But I can take time to think here. So first I attack the queen. They have this isolated pawn. This is a weakness and a strength at the same time. If they ever get this pushing and rolling down, I'm going to lose. If they don't, I'm going to win. Especially because of the clock here. Well, no, I mean, it's a draw. I said going to win. If they try to and fail, I'm going to win. But if they just keep it the same, it would have been a draw. But it doesn't matter. We're playing 5-0, no increment, and they have a minute left. I go queen here to e7. They go rook up. Queen down here to f8. Queen over to f6. And rook here, what is this, to d8. Now this I was looking to get a checkmate in. Also looking at the clock, I want to make them think. So they take 5 seconds, they find the best move, and that's why sometimes attacking is good. It may be easy to defend. Most people can look at this like, oh, this is the only move, right? But it takes 5 seconds, and it may seem like it's small, but at this point, they need about a second or 2 seconds per move. Like, it is not going to work. I go queen here to b4. They go queen back, and again, it took them 10 seconds here because they have so much pressure on their position, they have to think. And they should think. Like, if they didn't think here, they'd probably just lose on the board. So I'm making it difficult. Although this is a drawn position, I do miss this. This was not intentional to miss. I should have went queen back, but I was also trying not to get a repetition. They go queen there, queen here, and now I'm feeling wonderful. I'm like, oh, I can just win on the board as well. I can go there, and then if they move their queen, that'd be checkmate with the rook. Well, I'll just give it, or no, this is a bad example. They went here, 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 here. That's just checkmate. So they avoided that, obviously. They go rook down to block that, and again, 23 seconds left. Rook here, putting pressure on the 7th rank. Maybe I can go here if they move their queen away, but they don't do that. They go pawn forward. This is a mistake. I actually don't find the best move. This is the best move. I went over it already. So queen a7. I miss it, and I don't even think, because I guess what, they'd go king g7. But this, I don't know. The analysis is not necessarily agreeing with the game review. As I'm looking at it after that, that might even be better for them. I'm not mad at my move, because this at least gives a threat. I'm looking at their clock trying to get them low. They go pawn here to b3. This, unfortunately for them, is game over, as I am giving that threat, double attacking the pawn on f7. I take with the rook, and beyond it being a pawn, they actually would have to sack this and go to this endgame. Now, this is losing, obviously, but if they... What's wrong with... Oh, no, sorry. This, well, I mean, I would take it a little, I guess, check, and then queen back after this. Or, yeah, something like that. But beyond the point. The problem is that if because they don't do that, they go king back. After queen here, it's mate, or that's what I do. It's mate in 1. So they should have taken the rook. Not that it matters, really. They have 18 seconds, they'll have 46. I have double their time. More than enough time to convert that, actually. So, yeah, if they would have went king there, that's checkmate right there. But, yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's about 17 minutes. I am, kind of new to YouTube, so let me know if you made it this far. What you liked about it, what you didn't like. I'm open to change, do whatever works. Yeah. Thank you for the support if you made it this far. This is the camera. I will get it one day. One day I will just only look at this camera. But I bought this camera and I've been using my laptop camera, but I have a camera on the monitor. So I'm looking in the camera. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day. That was a voice crack.